so that we can receive reports from two of our colleagues. First, I will call Lillian from Watoto Watch Network and Jamie. Lillian represents Watoto Watch Network that convened the Youth IGF in partnership with the Kenya ICT Action Network. I will give you 3 minutes, so be brief. And then after that, Mr. Ronald Ojino from the University of Dar es Salaam, who was coordinating the online discussions, will come and give us an overview of the discussions that we had. Over to you, Lillian.
Morning, everyone. My name is Lillian Karaoke, and I work for Watoto Watch Network. Yesterday, we had the first ever Kenya Youth IGF, where we involved youth from various schools, and it was at Daystar University. Last year, as I spoke during the IGF, I talked on the need of youth involvement in regards to policy. And this is through the support of Internet and different organizations, Communications Authority. There's been a very good support, enabling youth to come into forums, enabling us to organize forums for the youth. This is the second youth involvement in regards to policy. The first one we had it at Strathmore, where youth came together and discussed on the computer and cybercrime bill, and they gave their views on the bill, which was presented to the ministry. And as for yesterday, I want to give this opportunity to Jamie. He's a student from St. Mary's, who will give a highlight of everything that they discussed on yesterday. Thanks.
Hello. Hi, how are you? My name is Jamie Bunyasi. You all look snappy. And I first want to thank the Kictonet for organizing this amazing conference and allowing all of us to be here. I also like to thank them for allowing young people like myself to be a part of it. Furthermore, I'd like to thank the young people who nominated me yesterday to come as a representative and air some of their views. So, a lot was said, and so much so that it is hard to summarize it within the span of time that I've been given. But to be brief, I'd like to say that young people are a major part of where the internet is going and where the internet is going to be in the next 10 to 30 years, or in fact, the future. First off, a lot was said about ICT accessibility. Young people feel that there is not enough, there are no avenues to access the internet for people in rural areas. People who have no access to the internet, have no access to the power and the infinite possibilities it offers. And we are calling for a change that will allow for every single young person, like myself and others, to have internet access. And we presented this yesterday, and we were told that Safaricom telecommunications company was working towards this goal, but they've been facing a lot of challenges. And we are asking for a union of companies that are interested in technology to come together and provide the support that Safaricom and companies like Safaricom, the few things that they might need to overcome those challenges. And furthermore, I'd like to say that our syllabus, especially the one we have with the KCSE, does not provide the tools needed to tackle the challenges we face today. Technology is taught in schools in a very, very, boring way. We've been learning the same thing for 20 years, come on. To be very honest. And that is partly why I transferred from KCSE to IGCSE, because the national curriculum, in as much as we are providing laptops to our young people, laptops are not enough. I mean, if I gave you a car today, you still need to get a driving license. So we need to provide the education required for our young people to even begin to use the internet. And without those tools needed, it'd be very hard for us to even come together in a forum like this and speak about how technology is being used, because no technology is going to be used. Furthermore, I'd like to talk about my personal experience as a young person, and I must say that being in an ecosystem where I could learn how to program and learn how to adopt the latest technologies, I have really become something that I could never be before. And this is the same opportunity I want for every single young person like myself. And I'd urge all of us to come together and make this possible for all young people. Amen? It's the last time this was there. So, thank you for the snaps. So, I know we don't have a lot of time, so I'll finish with this. The internet is a vehicle, and today we have the opportunity to choose the roads and choose where they could take us. And I say it's a vehicle because vehicles are neither good nor bad. What happens with the internet is, it's not a problem with the internet. It's a problem with the government. And that is why I believe forums like the Internet Governance Forum are very important, because they provide the road, they provide a roadmap for people to look at and say, okay, this is where we need to go, this is where we can be, this is where we shouldn't go. And especially with young people, this is important. Yesterday we tackled issues like pornography. We tackled issues like betting online. I know that young people should be allowed to bet online. We tackled challenges such as, e-learning. Nowadays, you can learn more from the internet than you do from schools, and I can attest to that. So, we need an overhaul of the things that are happening today. We need a transformation. We can no longer think the way we have thought before. We can no longer be where we have been before. We need to move forward. And we need to move forward holding each other's hands. The internet has blurred the lines. There is no longer young and old. There is no longer black and white. There is no longer barriers between us. For the first time in a long time, we are one. And I'd like us to acknowledge all shareholders, including young people, in this walk towards a beautiful future. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you very much. You can take your seat. I think he deserves a better snap. We can see Vision 2030. Mr. Ronald, please, if you may come up and try and be brief. So Ronald Ojino was coordinating the online discussions. He'll give us a brief summary of what was discussed.
I'm Jam. We had online discussions, that was last week, and part of this week. On day one, we focused on internet shutdowns, and some of these topics will be covered during the day. There is, as regards internet shutdowns, there is a fear of a shutdown, especially during the electioneering period. And this can be brought about by public order justification. So, what are the implications? This may affect results transmissions. And we're asking ourselves some questions. What are the options to the public? You find that the public in Kenya is very tech-savvy. So, there are many options to circumvent this. And this was discussed in detail. We hope it will draw more discussions during the day. Open issues for discussion are internet balkanization initiative by big brothers like Russia, a form of shutdown. Is the government preparing Kenyans for a shutdown during elections? What about that? That was day one. Day two, that focused on fake news. What is fake news? Fake news is disinformation. So, as we protect freedom of speech, are we willing to justify disinformation? Fake news brings about the reality of click economy and big data that we are living in. We have to acknowledge the fact that fake news is here to stay. So, there is a clarion call to everyone that we need to carry out due diligence and verification. There is an opportunity for mainstream media, especially, to restructure and reclaim its space by investing in quality against quantity, especially in this period. Day three, we covered cyberbullying that the speaker ahead of me focused on. Now, what are the trends? Some of the things we have witnessed are deaths due to cyberbullying. And cyberbullying right now is occurring in a range of platforms. And there's the issue of mob mentality playing out online. So, what are some of the challenges we face? We find that it is a challenge to find the perpetrators of cyberbullying. And this raised some questions. We asked ourselves, how do we fight cyberbullying? And we came about with some conclusions. Number one, we need to go back to the basics of raising our kids, the family, okay, the family unit. There's some form of disintegration. Then, when does cyberbullying move from abuse to hate and incitement? Is cyberbullying glorified in our songs and TV shows in Kenya? Should criminal law be used to curb it in Kenya? Suggestions given to us included having emergency numbers being offered by the cyber unit crime division in the police, so that in case you are a victim, you can report. Okay, on day 4, we focused on fintech technologies. How is the business environment in Kenya? We found that the business environment is very conducive for fintech business. Do we have an enabling policy framework to foster growth in Kenya? Those are some of the questions which are open for more discussion today. Is there a need for reskilling of the existing human capital labor? How much of the local talent is in use in this sector that is truly digital literate? On the final day of our discussion, we focused on ICT in the counties. we acknowledge that most of the counties are implementing ICT initiatives. Some of the counties are already on e-citizen and the likes. So what are the problems faced by the counties? Number one, there is lack of funding, lack of capacity and procurement issues. There is a struggle in coordinating with other departments that could use ICT effectively. Do all counties have reliable access to the internet? We are asking colleagues, maybe in the ICT authority and CAK, to advise us on statistics about the counties, because we get statistics about the nation. What are the statistics of the counties which serve the common mwananchi? Then what is the implementation progress of the ICT roadmap in the counties? I think a summary of this report will be available later after this forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Snap for Ronald. Thank you very much. So for those who just come in,